Ooh. Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. I'm giving you guys an early live. I know most of you will probably won't watch this until a little bit later on, but I thought I'd go live with it because I won't be able to do it later on. So we're going to talk a little bit about episode 2, dealing with Love is Blind, episode 2. We're going to say it again. If you come into the chat, please don't spoil the rest of the episodes. I have not watched it. I've only watched the first 2 episodes. We did episode 1 yesterday. We're doing episode 2 today. So if you're lucky enough to catch us on this live, put a little comment in the comment section, put a smiley face or something. Let us know you're here and let us know that you are watching. But before we go anywhere, like it, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. Stay hydrated because the streets out there, they're hot. All right, cool. Let's get into this video. We're going to do a live quickly, do about an hour on the latest second episode of Love is Blind. Listen, it's a mad thing. Yes, I see you guys commenting. Love that. Yeah, we're going to do a quick review. I say quick, it's going to be an hour on the second episode. And really, there's a lot that happened, but I want to focus specifically on a few things. Ayanna, Jarrett, Shaina, Kyle situation, Shane making Natalie his girlfriend, and then obviously Abhishek and Deepti, because of some interesting things that were happening. Listen as well, stay hydrated. The streets out there ain't no joke. All right, cool. Let's get into the video. I'm gonna supply some clips. Hopefully you guys can hear the sound and you can see what I'm seeing. So let's just play this first clip. I just want to play this first clip here. I'm gonna go to the very beginning. Actually, I'm gonna go to the very beginning. Let's go to the very beginning where we had this.
What is this woman doing to me? For real. How the fuck is this even happening? How is this even possible that I have not seen this person, but yet I'm...
All right, cool. So we had a connection there with Jarrett and Mallory. We also had him with connecting with Ayanna as well. And what was really interesting, I'm going to go to the Ayanna situation because she shared something really, really deep. She shared about, the fact that she was sexually assaulted. And I think this is really important to discuss as well because... this can affect you. I said this earlier on in the first episode review that we did. I said when I looked at Ayanna coming on my screen, I didn't feel that. And she's a little baddie. She's a good-looking woman. She's petite, small. Pretty gal. She should have no problems. But the issue was that when I saw her, I was seeing 2D, not 3D. And what I mean by that is it wasn't popping. You know what I mean? When you see a 2D picture, it's there. But when you see a 3D picture, it pops. Yeah, 4D is even better. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't see that with Ayanna. And I said, something's not allowing her to be confident, or she's not as confident. There's some insecurity that stops her from being as confident. She should be able to be more exuberant, more to life. And I wasn't seeing that, right? And this episode, we got a much more deeper aspect in terms of what she was kind of going through. And I think that was what is really important because what she shared, right? And in that conversation... she shared the fact that it was something so heavy. And I think, in a sense, this is really important to deal with because I think as black people, black women especially are, I think it's like 1 in 4 women or 1 in 4 black women, have gone through sexual assault. Like, yo, fam, it is a large number. You understand? So this is epidemic at this point. Like, it's big. People are going through this a lot. And the difficulty with this issue, women experiencing this, is what it does as an after effect to the mind of the individual in question, right? So I think we've seen the fact that obviously, first and foremost, we got to hear the fact her mum, gave her up. The fact that her mum gave her up and hasn't been able to really look after her since a young age. She's been passed around and now she's suffered sexual assault, right? So suffering that at a young age and then suffering that maybe a little bit later on in your teenage life, parts of your life, is very heavy on the soul, very heavy on the mind, and it takes a toll. And that in itself requires work that needs to be done by that individual person, right? Because, because otherwise what happens is we don't get to see the full you because you're having to operate from a place of trauma. And this is why I'm saying that so many people are going through things. They're literally going through life and they're experiencing things, and it affects how they move in the world. You know, and I said this, you know, there was something that was holding, I could tell that there was something that wasn't quite right with Ayanna. Not like anything bad, but just not giving her the, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah, I love what you put there. She suffered rejection and abuse. And that in itself creates huge insecurities. That in itself then needs to be worked through, because otherwise what happens is when you get into a relationship, relationships have an ability to add pressure onto emotional wounds. I want you to imagine you are physically injured and you've cut yourself, right? Or, you know, yeah, you've cut yourself, whatever, right? When you apply certain pressure onto that wound, it can open that wound up again. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you like have a scab on you and then you kind of like pick at the scab and it bleeds again. It's like that almost in a sense with people emotionally. A lot of people have got emotional scabs. Some people haven't even healed from it yet. You know what I'm saying? There's no scab at all. And then what a relationship does, rather than actually helping it, it actually stretches it again and applies pressure onto places. Like she mentioned, she's triggered in certain parts. You know, yeah, and this is a very big thing as well. It's a very big thing. I was going to talk about this as well, right? I'll comment that in a second. But, so these are the big parts that I'm talking about, right? Because, like I said, it removes that confidence. That, you know what I'm saying? Now you can see almost and feel. You can feel the cloud, right? So this is why I'm saying that, you know, some of us need to really sit down, sit on the bench, heal, because when we get back onto the field of play, we can get re-injured, or we have too many thoughts in our mind that are clouding our actual judgment. There are too many thoughts in our mind that are making us feel unconfident. And in this game of dating, let's keep it a buck here. If you want to increase your chances of being in a relationship with someone, male or female, confidence is an extremely important and attractive feat on any individual, male or female, right? Like, women, you know this even more than us men. When you meet a man that's unconfident, it is a turner for a lot of you women, right? It's a big turner for a lot of you women. Men that are severely insecure, that say, oh, I don't think anyone's good enough for me. I don't think I'm good enough. Women tend to stay away from that men, even more than I think even us men, right? Yeah, maybe because men are usually trying to have sex. But, you know, so confidence is such a huge thing. And what can knock your confidence is things like rejection in the past and abuse and you know, of the highest order. So I'll play a little bit of the clip. She talks a little bit about it on here. Trigger warning as well for anyone who has gone through that. Let me just put that trigger warning across as well for you guys. Now, she mentions all of that as well, and again, you know, because they've been talking, I think it's 7 days they've pretty much been talking for on the show and stuff. So, you know, she mentioned about, again, the reaction of the body, and this is something that's so, again, men and women really there was no audio. I think it blocks the audio. That's probably why. Oh, it's me, guys. Sorry, it's me. Let me put it back on again. My bad, guys. It's me. It was me.
Sexually assaulted when I was 17. Like, my heart is healed. It's just like sometimes my body remembers. I mean, it can be difficult. Like, I'm very, very, very selective on who I allow to get very, very close to me.
So, you know, very, very difficult thing to go through. Very, very difficult thing to go through, and she shares that with him. And this is such a difficult topic, because obviously we know it's difficult, because I'm wondering if this was the right time to share that information. I know it's going to sound peak, especially from women to men. I say it from women to men because you got to really hope that man is emotionally intelligent and aware when it comes to these kind of subjects. But I'm not saying that he wasn't. I'm just saying, you know, I'm more kind of using it as a cautionary tale for the rest of us, that information like that, you know, you want to really trust that person. You want to make sure they also can be able to handle it, and he did a good job of handling it from what we can tell as what she said herself, that he handled it quite well. He also shared some deep things that happened to him. Unfortunately, he also had been stabbed and betrayed by a friend as well. So they've both really gone through some very traumatic, deep situations as such. I think what I want to say is this as well. I want to cautionary tell everybody, right? I want you to understand that sharing your deepest, darkest thoughts or deepest, darkest experiences is a part of connecting with somebody. Okay, it is a part of sharing your emotional intimacy. It is not intimacy. I want to make it very clear, because I think what happens is this: when we talk about trauma bonding, even though that's not the right term, bonding with trauma, I want to say, but intimacy is only one. That's not only one. That's not intimacy. Is not one part. We're talking about emotional, physically, mental, emotional, mental, physical, sexual, spiritual, financial. There are different parts of intimacy that are required for a transparent relationship, one that's really built. Within the emotional intimacy, we have to, within the mental intimacy, I would rather say, or can say emotional too, you really want to talk about your attitudes and values, okay? All right? Let me just put it on the screen. You want to talk about your attitudes and values. Why am I saying that? Because sharing that you've gone through a deep, dark thing, okay, is great. It's good that you can trust that person, okay? It's nice that you can share your deepest, darkest secret and let them enter the doors of your mind and your heart. But if you do not share the same attitudes and values, it doesn't matter what you share. In the long run, it is not going to work. And this is the mistake that many people make. They are making very emotional decisions when it comes to a partner. What I mean by that is, in business, we call it emotional buying, right? It's the same thing that happens when who watched Tinder Swindler, right? How he got those women was through emotional buy-in. He made them care. He got them into an emotional position, okay? And then he either girlfriend or friend, and then he began to have a crazy event where he got taken hostage or whatever, and needed money. Now, I'm sorry, that's happened to me before. I got conned in a similar way, so I know it to be very true. How it works, it can't happen again. I'm going to be honest with you. If you do that to me, if I'm not on it. But the thing that makes a relationship really work is, in the long run, is the attitudes and the values to life and life's situations. Point and blank, we're going to discuss them in a second. When you deal with Shayna and Kyle, that's what I mean by attitudes and values. They do not have the same values. Thus, long term, the relationship will not work until one of them agrees or disagrees, or one of them yields, or one of them comes to the same position. I want you to understand, ladies especially, because ladies are far more wired in our society to give more emotional responses in terms of their heart. Just because you shared a deep inside thing, just because you shared a deep painful experience with somebody, it does not mean that you're going to be with that person. I want to make this clear. Sometimes you trust people to have a conversation with you in an emotional sense because they can handle you in that capacity. But it doesn't mean they can handle you in a relationship, romantic capacity. Some people, when you release information to them, you feel so comfortable and so trusting that you want to give them this information, and rightly so. But it doesn't mean equally that they're going to be a partner. Why am I saying this? They're doing the job of a therapist, right? How many people reach out to me and tell me their deepest, darkest, secretest? How many people come on to Ready to Love and come and interview me and come and tell me their deepest, darkest, secretive? The reason why they tell me they're secretive is because they feel comfortable enough, because I've made them comfortable enough to be able to discuss how they feel in their depth. Now, as they discussed that, it does not mean I'm good enough. It doesn't mean I'm good now for a relationship. All they've done is they've trusted me because I'm in the right moment, right time, right season, and I have shown that I potentially can handle the information they've given. It does not equate to relationship. And what happens is some people equate sharing their deepest, darkest secret as we've moved further along in our relationship. No, you just trust that person with that kind of information. What is his attitude? What is her values? What is her attitude? What is his values? Those are the most important things when it comes to a relationship. What is their attitudes and values? They may be the best looking person for you, right? Physically, the sex may even be bomb, even though probably we shouldn't be having sex before marriage, but here you go, right? But you have to understand, and even your personalities can be quite similar, but do you match on attitudes and values? Now, don't get twisted, attitudes and values can always change over time, but there are hardcore precedents and sets of values that are going to change. For instance, I'm a born-again Christian. That value is not going to change. So I'm not about to date somebody who first and foremost, I'm not dating anybody religious, who does not believe in Jesus Christ being Lord and personal Savior, who is not born again. I'm not dating somebody who's not born again. I'm sorry. Now I may have some sex, but I'm not gonna be in a relationship. I'll say again, I might have some sex, but I ain't gonna be in a relationship with that person because I understand long term we don't have the same attitudes, nor do we have the same values. So it's a cautious little thing here when you are dealing with this particular aspect of a relationship. When you're getting to know somebody, don't fool yourself into thinking because I feel comfortable enough to share this piece of information, it means we're going far. You must remain in the same thought. Attitude and values, are they in alignment? Okay, are they in alignment? So yes, we see that obviously Ayanna, and here's another thing as well, they discussed about moving in. I don't know why, but the moving in part had me shooketh. When they talk about moving in, I was like, well, I know they're gonna get married or at least engaged, but when Ayanna and Jarrett start talking about moving in, I started saying to myself, whoa, and I don't know why, but I think it's because obviously they're not married yet, but it's just when people talk about moving in, it can really change things, especially if you're not married. Like, it can really change things, you know. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm intrigued. So yeah, let me not say too much about that. Let me leave that part there. Do you get what I'm saying? But it was just something that was on my mind. That came to me. Okay, so again, it was good to see them kind of come together. I think. So if I put a comment here, Jarrett fails in understanding her rejection issues displayed in a conversation he has with Mallory. Oh, okay. How do you mean? Expand on that, sis. Expand on that. Put in the comment section what you mean by that. Expand on it, and I'll put a comment on there. But yeah, Jarrett then has a conversation with Mallory, which I don't know. His conversation with Mallory is so much different. And I think you guys already just kind of said it for me. I want you to watch this, guys. Look at the way he comes into the room. This is not a normal entrance. The brother is on 10. Okay? Look at this little meeting when he comes in. Listen.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe it was. You were getting fitted.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I'm not going to lie.
Hi, Mal.
You're so funny. Hi, Jer Bear.
Listen, funny fucking story.
Man, this guy came in. I didn't even show the when he gets to the actual door. When he comes in, the guy is excited. I said, I didn't see that with Ayanna. I don't know. And the way he's even talking to Mallory about, marriage, he's asking her questions about how do you see our marriage, how do you see, our future, etc. It just seems like he's a bit more composed with Mallory. But he's going obviously emotionally, some level of emotionary depth with Ayanna, so I can see that too. I think there's a black connection there. So, but with Mallory, it just seems to be like he's going a bit. He did something really interesting. I want to see if I can get the clip for you guys. Okay, I just want to see if I can get this clip. Right, let's have a look at this.
Well, we're gonna do that.
You guys can actually hear it, so I don't want you to play behind the scenes. All right, they get married in 4 weeks, coach. I know it's mad. It's mad. Let me just play this. Okay. I want because he started talking about the future and what he did, right? And when he started doing it, I started realizing that if he's talking about the future with her like this, it's probably a sign that he's trying to impress her. What I mean by that is, let me say this. When he's talking to, yes, thank you, April, thank you, she said it right. I love that. When I'm seeing Jarrett with Mallory, what the impression I'm getting is he tries to impress Mallory. With Ayanna, he's not really trying to impress Mallory. They're just kind of connecting. Now, here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about this. I think when men are in this space, he's in two minds right now, and it's difficult because he's got a girl that he's connecting with on a real level, on some deep stuff, right? And yet, at the same time, when he's dealing with Mallory, there was a conversation they had about investments, right? I don't know if you guys remember the conversation about investments. They spoke about how he wanted to invest. How does she see investments in their future as a husband, right? And the way he was talking to her, he was almost like he was trying to impress Mallory, right? And she said about investments, and then he was talking about obviously, the fact that as what he does and what work he does, and I was like, this seems like almost like he's trying to impress her. And for me, that is a better sign that he really likes Mallory more. Just gonna say it, right? Because what Ayanna is sharing is a heavy load. It's a heavy load. You know what I mean? Like, Ayanna's not a bad catch at all. It's just a heavy load. So I'm wondering, again, I don't know what's going to happen in other episodes. I don't know. I only know what happens in episode 2. Don't spoil it for us, okay, guys? But I think what we see, with Jarrett and what we see with Mallory is that this guy wants to pursue Mallory. I get that impression he wants to pursue Mallory. Whereas with Ayanna, it's already there. It's already connected. It's already happened. He isn't really having to try very hard. He's more focusing on building that kind of connection up already. So I don't know how it's going to end in the end. I think he might go with Mallory. I just think he might go with Mallory. I think he'll go with Mallory. I think he will end up liking her because, like I said, she hasn't shown any of that dark stuff yet. She hasn't given any of those dark thoughts yet. So it may be a case of, yes. Yeah, this is it. Thank you. Tinkerbell, absolutely beautiful. Love this summary. What he's doing with Ayanna is she's my piece. I can tell her hard things because she can take them. I think he told her about stabbing after Ayanna has shared experience. Mallory is his flower. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I wanted to kind of say. You've put it in the words I couldn't put it in. With Ayanna, and men do this a lot. This is why I'm saying to you, a lot of men need, I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago. I said to you, a lot of men need therapy. And the therapy I'm talking about isn't necessarily someone to literally decipher their mind. It is the fact that they need someone to talk to, right? And actually tell their issues to. Because a lot of men are going through things and have no safe space to tell them. So they go to they use women as that safe space to tell certain things to. So Ayanna shared her deep thing. He's thought, okay, fantastic. She shares something deep now. I can now share that with her. Now, I don't know if he shared that with Mallory or not. We don't know because he never showed us that. But I'm gonna take a wild stab in the dark and say I don't think he shared that particular aspect with Mallory as such. And maybe he won't share it even in that same way. Maybe he won't even share it from that same way. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Ayanna becomes the homie at that point, unfortunately, right? So, he's at this moment, that's what I felt like. I felt like, he's given her this information because he feels like she can handle it. You know what I mean? Because she feels like she can handle it. But with Mallory, he's impressing her. He's asking questions about investment. You know, trying to find out what she's about. Like, oh, we already had our deep talks. Let's talk about some of the basic stuff today, right? And that in itself is because of what Ayanna has kind of shown. Again, you see, we all, when we first meet someone, tend to give some level of representative, right? We understand that giving hard, deep information early on is a turnoff. Like for most people who are socially aware, giving deep information is a turnoff. So you kind of leave that a little bit away. You know, you kind of leave that away, and then you kind of go, let me share some other stuff that are a bit more exciting about myself, a bit more impressive, you know, a bit more enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? Like you share those aspects, right? Rather than sharing, rather than sharing the deeper things. Let me just give you an example, like of what I'm talking about when I said about Jarrett. Let me just kind of watch this part here.
I cut hair, so part-time barber. A couple of friends of mine, like we buy and resell sneakers. And then I just started my own mobile hookah business.
Wow, I like that. So you're a hustler for sure.
Yeah.
See this? When a brother's in that mode, and again, he might have shared this also with Ayanna, but this is what they cut and edited for us. So I'm gonna have to take what they showed us on the edit floor. The fact that he shared that information with Mallory, you know, kind of tells me that here he's in the impress mode. And if you have to choose between emotionally deep and versus impress mode, you're more than likely going to choose impress mode, right? You're more than likely, I think as a man, we're more likely to choose the impress mode because it feeds our ego. The other one requires vulnerability. That strips away my ego. And unless you've done the work, you know, exactly, April, exactly, love that. You know, so the impress mode takes less vulnerability. And for a lot of us men, we haven't done the work. So even that, for instance, getting stabbed, has he done the emotional work after that? Has he processed it? Has he deeped it? Ayanna will be great to share his deep. Okay, so what I mean by this is like in the sense of, you know, the Ayanna's given him space to share the emotions of what happened to him, maybe in the stabbing, maybe in the past, maybe with parents. She's a really safe space to explore that information. But you don't feel the need to impress her because you feel like you've, number one, already got her, and number two, you've already gone so deep with her in this aspect. With Mallory, you've not gone that deep yet. You've not gone that vulnerable. You're giving her the liners, yeah, about I'm an entrepreneur, I this and that and this and that. Let's watch a little bit more. You can see what I'm talking about, right?
I have a very big entrepreneurial mind, so I want myself and my wife to dive into that. Like, let's own property.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to make sure that our kids are fine when they go to college, when they grow up.
So again, you know, he's kind of letting her know, you know, how, you know, you don't know one's there. So the chase is on with Mallory. Yeah, I feel like chase is on with Mallory. It's a lot, and also something that Mallory also mentioned, yeah, and I'll mention about Salvador and Mallory as well. By the way, Mallory when Salvador was doing the singing, yeah, Mallory was pretending as if she was crying. Baby, you weren't crying, babe. I didn't see one tear from your eye. Okay, a tear didn't even seem to drop, babe. I need you to relax. A tear didn't drop your eye, man. Old girl was going on like she was crying. I was like, babe, you are hiding your face. You're not crying. Stop it. You know what I mean? Stop it. Yeah, when she said she owned property, that's it. He said he saw generational wealth. He's gone. He saw it. You know. So someone said, okay, that's a good point. It could be as well. Jarrett knows Sal's into Mal, so he's trying harder to impress her. Could be. You know, could be. All right. Okay. Let's look a little bit about Mallory's behavior. This is when I knew. Old girls out here trying to play us. Don't even think about it, darling. Don't even think about it, darling.
Oh, okay.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Hey, Mal,
Okay, we'll play a bit more about, copyright. There was not one tear being shed, okay? All right? She wasn't into it. She thought it was cringe. I'm going to be honest. I like the song. Hey now, da dun dun, da dun dun, da 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 da. I thought the song was live. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like the song. I thought the song was kind of live, but I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't work. Okay. Yes, number one, it was too soon. But it's too soon because of who. Remember I told you guys that when he said I like to cry and people see it as weakness, Mallory in her mind has already a picture in her head. Right? She really has an image in her head. Okay? All right? She really has an image in her head. Her image of Sal is that he's a little bit emotional, but he's a softie. Do you know? Listen, she tried to disguise it. Yeah, we're not there yet, Kweku. We're not there yet, Kweku. We're not there. But she tried to disguise the issue, right, with by saying, you know what, Jarrett has been more vocal about marriage. I was like, baby, okay, if you say so. The whole thing is this. I think when someone already, and I'm speculating, when someone says I like to cry, people see it as a weakness. I'd said it from the first review. When you say it, it's going to promote a certain image. Then you add this song, and the song is kind of cheesy. It's not like the song is kind of cheesy in the sense of the way the chords that are played. It's kind of a cheesy ding 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 ding. It's kind of cheesy. It's kind of poppy, kind of cheesy. It's kind of fun, right? So add that to the crying aspect. You're going to look a little bit weak, okay? You're going to look a little bit weak. So now, all right, I remember the basic core instincts of a man or woman. We have some basic core instincts. Is this going to promote? I'm going to protect you. Is this going to promote? Right? Is this going to promote? Please, guys, no spoilers, please. I can see some spoilers. Guys, don't do the spoilers. We have not watched past episode 2. If you have information from episode 3, 4, and 5, don't release it. We are only discussing episode 2 here. Please, you see the thing running underneath the screen? It says here, episode 2 discussion only. Thank you. All right, cool. So, yes, Angel, should have said this. Should have said, I allow myself to cry. It's not healthy to hold it in. That's what you should have said. I love to cry. Screams, I'm weak. Thank you, Angel Eyes. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful put there. Love that. Right? So for me, I'm looking at it and I'm going, all right, cool. So let's watch a little bit more, right? Because there was no tears. There was not one single cry from my ear. Look.
I just realized you and I are 2 peas in a pod.
The song is wavy. Oh yeah, 2 peas in a pod. Bum 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 boom. Yeah, I like it. We need a remix. Yeah, we need maybe Jay-Z to come on that stuff. You know what I'm saying? 2 peas in a pod, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But again, exactly, it's kind of cringy because of the song. It's got a pop feel to it. It's got the, the little, what do you call that little guitar thing? I don't know what you call it. So it doesn't promote, it's not like, it doesn't get you like raw, deep. It's more of like it's kind of cheesy, kind of poppy. And then you add the fact that he likes to cry. So I think what you're going to get here is Jarrett versus Salvador is safety versus risk. Right, this is what happens because when you got someone like Jarrett, remember he said I'm all into investments, and I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna say something. He put pressure on Mallory instantly, and I'll tell you why. Because whenever, and I didn't realize this, sometimes you don't think of it from a woman's perspective. You only think about men and us men feeling intimidated, right? You only think about, men get intimidated by women that have made it. Ukulele, thank you. Men get intimidated by women. And it's true, we do, right? When a woman's got all her stuff together. Well, when he started listing off everything that he does, I do barbership, I do this, I do that, right? He elevated himself hugely and said, look, I'm all into investments. I'm all into entrepreneurship. And then he asked her, how do you see our future? And what's your thoughts on investments? That instantly put pressure on Mallory, right? Now, this now makes him a risk versus the safety, right? Because now what he's asking for her to do is elevate. I know she said she had a house. That was her way of kind of saying, I'm doing something. But then he went on further to ask her, and how would that look like if we were married, right? He was applying pressure. That pressure in itself sometimes can make that woman also think, okay, I've got to up my game. If I'm going to be with this guy, I've got to up my game too, right? That in itself is pressure. Whereas when you get with Salvador, is there pressure? Did he come out saying, listen, I'm a high-end opera singer, I'm a high-end opera singer, and listen, I sing on the stage. I tour around the world. I expect my woman to also be that. No, he didn't say that. But what we got with Jarrett was, I expect my woman also to be a part of the situation. I'm looking for generational wealth. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. He let her know what he's looking for. That instantly means either you're there or you're not, or you have to raise your level. Now that makes him a risk versus safety. Right? So now she got a choice to make. Does she want risk or does she want safety? That's a key question, right? At this point, right? I don't know what Jarrett has done in episode 3, 4, and 5. I don't know if he has done anything, but what I do know from so far is that he immediately put himself in the risk category versus safety because he asked her to come up. Right? So if you're ladies, you probably can write in the chat if you ever identify, you come across a guy who's got everything accomplished. That's not the issue. It's when he demands of you that it becomes the issue. That it becomes not, I wouldn't say an issue, but you're now thinking, whoa, can I meet this demand? Can I meet the standard? Right? See, because obviously how we know how gender roles work. If a man's got everything all together, that isn't really necessarily always a pressure. The pressure really comes, most of the time, comes from the fact that if he demands that of you, I'm expecting that you also are going to be wavy too. That can create a pressure on you too. All right, cool. Enough about them two. Let's talk a little bit about Abhishek. I hope I spelled his name correctly. And Deepti. They were interesting. They finally met and saw each other. I wanna bring it to the fact. Okay, I'm gonna say something. Okay, I'm gonna say, and I may be wrong. I don't know. But I'm gonna say something. Okay, because there was a conversation that they had. Okay.
Kind of a shame.
Okay, let's go. Yeah. Okay. So, Chile, Deepti and Abhishek are wavy. Let's listen to him a little bit.
You that I lost a ton of weight.
No.
Like close to 70, 80 pounds probably.
Now listen, Shake for me is a problem anyway. I'm only 2 episodes in. Shake is a problem for me. All right? Shake is a problem for me. Okay? But first and foremost, why did she share that story? Why did that story seem like it came out of left field? That story felt like almost like she was trying to test him to see what he would say, right? But I'm like looking at it going, the way you said it so sadly, I've lost 70, 80 pounds, I'm like, what is he supposed to do with that information? I don't know. What was he supposed to do with that information? Like, where was he meant to take that information? Where was he meant to go with that information? You know what I mean? Yeah, he did, but that wasn't the first episode. This is a new day. Daydream. Like, this is a completely new day. And it's like they're having a separate conversation. And I know, listen, we all know Shake is superficial. And he admitted himself. I love that point as well. He admitted himself. He's run away from his culture. you know, etc. He never wanted to be with a girl like her, right? Okay. But they both will run away from their culture. See, this is the thing. As much as Shake is superficial, as much as Shake is rude, offensive in his language and the way he says certain things, baby, they were both dating white males and females only. The difference is he admits his own crappiness about the fact that, listen, I was running away from my culture. Truth is, she was running away from her culture. You end up only dating white people, I'm going to be asking the same question. But let me, say less. We'll come back to that, right? Less is a bit more about what they're saying. Okay.
Wow. How the hell am I the one who's like asking girls their, you know, like these kind of superficial questions?
Mm-hmm.
He's chatting so much whack. He is chatting. Listen, I don't believe that he even listen. Yeah, that was the first episode. Think about this was a whole other conversation, but I hear what you're saying. He did mention it. In this conversation, his body language does not make me feel like he actually received what she just said. That body language he had, the hand on the head like this, wow, you know, that. Sorry, my mic went there. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I'm not saying that he didn't receive it. I'm just saying that because I'm looking at a situation, right? And I'm going, is he be very careful what I'm going to say, you know. I have to be very careful when you word things. Okay. This is a good point. Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis. I definitely hear that as well. Definitely hear that. I'm looking at a Shake and I'm going, in this moment where he's talking about, you know, how my do you know what he did in that moment? Yeah, that was what I said. In this moment, okay, the conversation was about her. Right? The conversation in this moment was about Deepti showing, okay, what she had gone through and explaining how she felt. Right? And she explained about losing weight, 70, 80 pounds. How quickly did he turn the conversation into, wow, I can't believe that I did. This for me told me that even though he understood more about himself, he's going to take more from this relationship than she's going to ever take. Just my sentiment. Just from that little piece alone. Okay? Because how people start is how they usually mean to go on. Okay? So when she's now sharing her heart with you in that moment, and you immediately turned it into, man, I just realized I can't believe I'm such a dick for like and the whole conversation shifted onto him and how he had learned, and then he turned it into, oh my gosh, you know, I didn't even realize that, you know, I had body issue conscious, and that for me just was like, no. You see, I'll tell you why I'm a little bit scared about the quick shift. When people are deep in things, you know, when people are understanding things, especially when it shakes their world, especially when it's a new revelation, it often takes a little bit of time to go, whew, I need to deep it, right? Now, you might say one or two things, but you tend to try and deep it a little bit and be like, rah, okay, whew, okay, that was heavy. Like, I just deep certain things. And you allow that person to kind of talk a bit more. He instantly got a revelation and just turned it on its head and was like, okay, you know what? I've just learned I'm being so arrogant. You know, I have my own body conscious issues. Oh, it's great you got the revelation. It's great you got a revelation, sir. But, you know, you You know what I mean? It's great that you got a revelation, but you just turned the whole situation to you. Let's listen a bit more.
And like nobody else is.
Yeah.
And then I kind of felt kind of ashamed, embarrassed that I did. And I'm like, wow, this is the experiment where you're not supposed to even like, think.
There's nothing great about this moment. I'm going to be honest with you. There's nothing great about that one moment, you know? There's nothing great about that moment. Like when you first, and the reason, maybe the reason why Deep doesn't pick up on the issue is, like I said, the reason why she told the story. Yes. This is it. That's the reason why she's not picking up on the issue of Shake, because she told a story with the hope it would change his mind rather than actually just sharing something, personal to her, right? So now when he gives a response, that's the response she wanted. So she's not going to see it as a red flag. I saw it as a red flag because I thought, like, if you're telling a story, if you tell the story to try and shake somebody, then it worked. He's shaken, all right? And he's going to change. But if you tell that story and he does that, I'm also looking at it going, but the speed of the turnaround. The speed of the turnaround. Yes, and that's the truth. She's dealing with her own insecurities, right? And these are the things that people are taking advantage of, because she mentioned her story about, losing all that weight herself, being body conscious. Listen, Deep looks good, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I saw Deep. I said Deep. Deep got the body, yada. She got the calves. I said she got the thigh. I said, damn. I said, baby, Deep looking kind of good. Okay. But anyway, listen. So, so evidently, even though you changed the outer, the inner needs that work. Because he now used it as a moment to celebrate himself. You know what I'm saying? I said, all right. I said, okay. And you ain't deep to that. My man is, that he's turned it into his own kind of thing. And it's because that's the thing that she wanted from him. She wanted to see if he would, right? So then obviously when we see later on, which I'll play for you guys now, that turnaround's mad, fam. That's all I can say. The turnaround that these guys had. This boy grabbed her ass like there was no tomorrow. This boy was horny. I'm just sorry to say it. This boy was horny. I'm going to say it again. Shake is horny. Okay? Shake is horny. Okay? All right? Now, had it been biblical times, I wouldn't have questioned it. Okay? But we're not in biblical times. So, he's horny. You know what I'm saying? And that's the issue too. You're right. Lovely point. You ain't lying about that. Listen, let's watch a little bit.
Which I love.
God.
Let her breathe.
Yeah.
Listen, brother out here, listen, the guy almost broke her back trying to kiss her, bending her over the opposite way, like grabbing her arm. Listen, I get it. Listen, listen, me too. I love Nyash. Y'all know I love a good Nyash. I want to squeeze. I love a good squeeze too. But I just met you. I might want to calm down a little bit. I know you, and obviously I've talked to you and everything. But the grabbing Nyash might have been a bit too much for me. But it's the way that he was so excited to see her and kiss her and everything. I just knew straight away. I said, he's lying. He lying. I'm sorry, I don't believe Shake. I'm sorry, Shake is full of milk. Okay? All right? I don't know why I said that, but it just felt good to say it. Shake is full of milk. Like, it's everything he was doing was just seeming fake to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at him, I'm going, you don't really care for old girl. Like, you're just excited. You want to get your rocks off. Hey, don't let your daughter walk in on this conversation. It's a bit peak still. Yeah, so I just, I was like, I'm looking at it. I'm just like, it's a bit much for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Yeah, I weren't feeling it. She's excited, but I think she just wants to be wanted. And that someone said it around desperation. Let me say it something. I always use I always use a scripture in the Bible. It says, to the hungry man, everything bitter tastes sweet, right? It's a proverb in the Bible. And I love that scripture because when I got the revelation of it, I understood it. To the hungry man, when you're hungry, when you're desperate, when you want a man, when you want a woman, any man, any girl now looks good. And it's like, that's what I feel like Deep might be getting with Shake. You know? Yeah, you know what? I'm not on it, bruv. I'm not on it with Shake. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on it with Shake. Shake knows exactly what he's doing, bruv. Shake knows exactly. Let's watch a little bit more, and we'll talk a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
You did not just do that.
I'll do it for you.
In the Indian culture, when you get married, the wife touches the husband's feet. And
Yeah, I hear that still, Deep. Yep, I hear that. But he's not going to carry on his shoulders. He's not going to do that still. So, yeah, with Shake and Deep, I have my reservations, man, because whole lot of kissing, whole lot of touching. I don't know if I really believe that. Do you know what I'm saying? Not saying that you can't. Just, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really deep in what they're actually selling. Do you know what I mean?
We're gonna have so much fun. And I'm gonna get you pregnant.
And at that point, that's when I knew it's all over. When he said, listen, gonna wanna make you pregnant. Gonna get you pregnant. I said, nope. I said, at that moment, sir, you are out of order. I said, Tank, TGT, come and get your man quickly. Come and get your man quickly. Tank, Genuine, and Tyrese, come and get your man right now, because this guy here just wants to impregnate her. That's all. He's on sex and sex only. I'm sorry if your children are listening to this. I know it's only 4:55. I know it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's all he wants. There is nothing here that is about really wanting her. I'm not saying anything again. I said, nah. I said, nah, we're not having that. You know what I'm saying? I said, Deep, you need to start really thinking about this. You know what I'm saying? All right. TGT said, no, that man. Listen, we're not in here for that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know about TGT, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know about them, go listen to them. TGT, yo, that album that we had, fam, was wavy. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. We got some really good music from them. So yeah, I think, to be honest, the problem is that and I want to say this for anybody watching this, when you get that first knot in your stomach, you get that first quench of your heart, the heart tightens. You know, when you get that feeling that something's not quite right. I was just listening to an audible book called Emotional Intelligence, and I'm on my second time listening to it, right? Because I really liked what it was. A nice short book, it's like 4 hours listen, right? And I was listening to the book, and they were talking about how intuition is actually a part of your emotions. I was like, I didn't know it. Intuition is a part of emotional intelligence, right? In a sense of your mind is working really, really quickly. And so it's piecing together information really, really quickly, and you just feel it. So you don't know where it's come from, but you just feel it because your mind has worked really, really quickly. It's taken in different information and just made a decision for you quick. It's intuition. So it's nothing special or nothing spiritual about it. It's just an intuition of information coming to you really, really quickly that your mind necessarily couldn't process it. So you just feel, I don't feel this is right. Women, you know exactly what we're talking about here, because this is, it's called Emotional Intelligence, a book. Emotional Intelligence. And when you feel that intuition, it really should be the first, that when you feel it, don't try to ignore it, right? Don't try to ignore it, because it's trying to protect you, okay? All right? And your mind is processing the information really quickly, and you're feeling things, and it's telling you run, because this ain't right. And now Deep is in a situation where it's gonna be very hard to backtrack, right? You see, it's almost like entering a very small door. Squeezing into it is difficult enough, but when you have to backtrack, it's even more tougher. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. You know, when you like you have to enter certain things, and it's like it was hard enough getting in, and you try to exit out, and it's so much more difficult exiting out. That's what's happening to Deep. And the problem is, these kind of men here, once you enter, you're only going to get deeper and deeper and deeper, right? You better pray something happens that you can get out of that situation, because once you're there, your mind is going to tell you, well, you're going to try and look for things to try and back your reason why you're still there, rather than going, actually, I don't need to be here. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you feel that, intuition kicking, right? You got to use it and get out, right? Don't try to, and this is why I was saying, I think we were talking about it, and I still haven't done the live, I've meant to do it, talking about dating and people feeling safe in dating. If you don't get that safety feeling from a person, ladies and gentlemen, especially ladies, don't enter. Don't try to make it happen. Don't try to force it. If you don't feel that safety from that man immediately, more than likely, your intuition is probably telling you you're not quite right. Right? Now, again, within, obviously you got to take it in within, case by case situation, contextually, right? But oftentimes your intuition is telling you something, right? That, this is not it. This is not it. You know what I'm saying? This is not it. So, karma's a bitch. Okay. Karma's a bitch. I just realized. You got me, girl. You got me. Email me. If you email me, send an email to me on thing, and I'll give you the link for the book, because I can't remember exactly what book it was. So send me an email, and I will give you the link for the book. But it was when I'm you gotta listen to intuition, ladies and gentlemen. It is telling you so that you can save yourself the hassle, and you don't have to learn a certain lesson. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's a really big one. It's a very important thing to listen to. Okay. Okay. So let's move on from them two, because I think there's nothing more to say about them two anyway. Let's move now on to the big one, which is Shayna, and Natalie. Shayna, and Natalie. I'm gonna get you guys some images so you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. Let me just do this, because I want to. Chile, they were doing bits. Yeah, Shane was out here talking. Shane was out here moving mad, man. Let's have a look at this. Okay, cool. I'm gonna bring this on to you guys. All right.
Are you okay?
Yesterday, like after a conversation, I was like,
all right, so they about to start having this conversation, basically, right? And Shane here, listen. Shane is trying to save face, okay? Shane realizes he's about to lose something, and this move of "I want you to be my girlfriend" is a save face movement. I'm not saying that he didn't want her. I'm not saying that he didn't like her. I'm saying the moment he started proposing, "I wanted you to be my girlfriend," that situation, it was a save face situation. He wanted to save himself. He's going to play Natalie to the hilt. Now, I may be wrong, but for me, that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at going, he's going to play Natalie absolutely to the hilt. And the problem is, the problem here is that he likes both women and hasn't taken his time. You know what? He could have told Natalie, you know what? I like yourself and Shayna, and before I make a decision, I want to just be able to have a bit more time to decipher. Can you give me that? If she says no, you cancel out the lead. But he just wants to keep her. He wants to keep both women in a place of suspense. Now, he ended up choosing Natalie, and then tried to play it as if when Shayna came in a room, that she ain't gonna know that old girl came in the room and said she wants you to be my girlfriend. I'm like, brother, are you all right? Are you all right? Not only that, how do you make the same mistake twice talking to another woman thinking it's somebody else? How? Don't take me for an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Don't take me for an idiot. Let's watch a bit more and you see what I'm saying.
Nervous that like I wouldn't talk to you again. If it's not you, I don't think there's anyone else here for me.
Whatever I have to do to prove to you that I'm fully focused on you, I will do it.
Yeah. I'm still about. Yeah. Yep, exactly. That's what I just said to Sia. Yeah. I said the exact same thing. You know, it honestly, that was the only reason why they were here in this conversation. That's the only reason why he's asked her for that. And that's what I'm saying, he's going to end up playing her. You know, that's why he's going to end up playing her. Now, here's the problem with the situation with Shane and Natalie is, the difficulty is, we can see Shane from an outside perspective, okay? The problem that Shane initiated in all the conversation happened in one conversation, right? That's the problem. And we can see it because of the way they've edited it. But his madness happened in one conversation. So I can understand why Natalie didn't necessarily straight away be like, why she didn't see it straight away. Even though she was hurt by what he did, because he called her the wrong name, okay? Of course, he called her the wrong name, etc., etc. But if you really deep it, is it enough to exit the relationship? We can, from our perspective, yes, because we're looking at Shane and going, we know he's not serious. But if you really deep it, if you're in the situation, you've been talking for a long time, and he makes a mistake and calls you by the wrong name, it would have been very hard to say to say I want to exit. You know what I mean? So I do understand a part of Natalie wanting to stay. I get it, right? I get it. The issue is that, you know, he likes both Natalie and Shayna. He gets a sexual vibe from Shayna. He gets a relationship vibe from Natalie, and that's the difficulty there. You know, let's watch a little bit more and see what he says.
I want to honestly just want to hold you and hug you and make sure you're okay.
Nah, even the way he even talks, man, it jars me, bruv. You know what I mean? It jars me, man. You know, Gregory said, listen, he said, if you call me the wrong name, it has to be finished. Yeah, but no, it wouldn't be finished. If you were talking to somebody and they call you the wrong name, you wouldn't finish it. And thank you. So there's a difference. This is the point, right? You wouldn't come back necessarily professing your love. You'd ask more questions. So that's what I'm saying to you. Like it wouldn't necessarily end straight away. It'll be a case of you're probing more, right? Otherwise, you're doing the same thing that Jose did to Rachel, calling the wrong name and then flying out the handle and shutting the door in someone's face. Like, so I'm giving her a little bit of grace. I'm giving her a little bit of grace. Okay. You know, I'm giving her a little bit of grace. Someone said Natalie's a female version of Shane. Lo, you know I'm even mad. But my issue with Natalie is, and look, don't get to this, I'll get you happy and everything. It became a competition between Natalie and Shayna in the room. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Jessica. Thank you. The where he blew up will be the problem. Where you should leave. Exactly, right? When he tried to flip it and deflect and pull it onto her, that's where she should have not been coming back anymore. And this is what I'm saying. It's very difficult though, because unless you've most people who haven't been, most of us who have been in maybe broken homes, emotionally unavailable homes where you know, there haven't been much love, you might not leave straight away if you're not healed, because you're used to something going wrong. You're used to some level of madness. You're used to some level of toxicity. You're used to something not being so great, right? something not being quite right, right? But if when you get to a place of healing, you can call that out early because you're like, I've experienced that. I don't need to see that. I don't need that in my life, right? So it can be very difficult. It can be very difficult. You know, it can be difficult sometimes. You know, when you don't realize. And this is a good point. You know, about end up with a man because she, Natalie was going into the room all smiley and kicking and kicking. Now don't get it twisted. Shayna was doing the exact same thing. She was smiling more when girl was losing. But I saw Natalie come in the room talking about we need champagne. Da 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 da. Yeah, I was like, Natalie, chill, B, chill, B. Chill, B. Chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh girl, you didn't need to do all that you were doing. All of what you were doing was a bit much. You know? She was doing the most, trying to be excited in the room because she got told I'm gonna be a girlfriend. I was like, all right, cool. It felt a bit much, you know what I'm saying? Let's look a bit more. I'm gonna hopefully I can go to the part where I wanna go to this part here. Okay, now if Shayna, let me tell you this now. Again, this is why I said about experience is important, knowledge, understanding, wisdom is important, right? Okay, this is why it's important. You must operate from a place of wisdom, and sometimes you learn from your own experience, sometimes you learn from other people's experience, but you must have wisdom. And I'm going to show you a clip at the point where Shayna should have known this ain't it. Okay? This ain't it. Okay? Oh, let me see if I can get it for you guys, alright? I'm going to get it for you guys. Alright, so let's play a little bit of this clip here for you guys, yeah? Let's play it and watch.
So bad.
I just don't want another failed engagement. I don't want to look stupid. Do you know what I'm saying?
You're not going to look stupid. So you don't need always just 100 reassurances. I just need just to see if that you're in it.
Yeah, I told you that I care.
Fight
Oh.
for it then or something. You know what I mean?
You know I care.
When the brother started saying fight for it, I said that's the moment Shayna should have left. At that point, fight for it. Listen. Fight for it. What he wanted from Shayna, right, was an absolute stamp-sealed guarantee that she ain't going nowhere else. But she'd given you quite a bit. You guys were flirting, you guys were talking, you guys were enjoying. The thing is, he wants ultimate reassurance. That's the point. Yeah? He wants ultimate reassurance. That's why he likes Natalie. He likes Natalie because Natalie gave him the reassurance that he's the one. Remember what he said earlier on? I like you to compliment me. I like you to say nice things about me. He has got his own insecurity. His insecurity is that he wants a girl to be like, I want you. I need you. I'm desperate for you. Right? This is what he wants. Right? Because Shayna did not do that, right? He chose Natalie instead. Now Shayna's come into the room, okay? First and foremost, she tried to play it off like you didn't just tell someone other girl you had a girlfriend. What was you expecting? Like, this is what that drives me nuts about Shane. What were you expecting? Right? What were you expecting for the woman to come into the room, okay, knowing how you already spoke to your other girl and said you're my girlfriend? Not just, oh, I told you that I like you. said her to be your girlfriend. What did you think was going to happen when it came in? Yes, Shane needs therapy. It's that simple. He needs to talk to a counselor. He needs to sit like he's sitting there and talk to a counselor. Okay? What are you expecting for Shayna to do when she comes in the room? Because he was about to flip it again. He was about to flip it again on her. Right? Gets into a conversation, all right? Let's listen a bit more. I'll play it.
Like, of course I like you. Yeah. But again, like, I'm not gonna play second fiddle to anybody.
I get that. Trust me, I'm not stupid. I know that.
Shane.
What?
What was the conversation today?
All right, this is where it gets really interesting. Because now she's asking the conversation, right? Okay. Now listen, exactly. This is what I said. He wanted to see a fight between two. It's the worst type of fight because he's not even good at it. It's the worst type of one because he's not even good at manipulating to instigate it. It's just that both women are silly enough to want to fight. Both of them are silly. Oh, Lord of mercy. Both of them are silly, okay, all right, enough to want to fight for him. Because the fact that he says, fight for it then. Come on. Darling, what's the fight? There is no fight. He's choosing her as his girlfriend. It's over. Be done. You've moved on. He's moved on. Go on. Right? And that made me realize that the two women, look, normally when two women fight over a man, okay, the man has lied to you both. He's told you both that you're the number one. He's like been in your faces. You don't get talked to that other woman. You know, maybe you stumbled across her just suddenly and it turns into a fight. I get that, right? I get that. But if you've had time to see that he's an unserious candidate, you've had time for him to lie, you've had time to see that he's lying, then you are at fault. You are at fault. You are at fault. Right? You're at fault. Why are you fighting over somebody you know is lying to you? And lying to the other person too, more than likely. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. No.
What do you mean?
Natalie? She said that you asked her to be your girlfriend. Did you say those things to Natalie?
I love these questions.
What? Is he dumb? Man said, I love these questions. The question's very simple. You know exactly. You know, why is he dodging it? It's so immature, man. Whew. It's immature, man. It's giving immature vibes. It's giving immature vibes. I'm honest with you, it's giving immature vibes. And that's a problem with what I'm seeing at the moment with Shane's behavior with his two connections. You know, like, brother, you are all over the place, bro. You know what I'm saying? All over the place. I'm not about it. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I love these questions.
Well, no, she made sure that she told me that you said that, by the way.
Oh my God.
I'm asking you a question.
I know, but I'm like, who cares?
I care.
Why?
Because I care.
Why do you care about that?
I'm stumped, bruv. I'm stumped. I'm looking at it and I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? You gonna allow this to happen? You know, I just gotta play this for
We
you.
have watched and listened from the mountains. We have watched with disgust.
That's how I feel about Shane. That's how I feel about Shane. Right? You have already chosen someone. Then you're trying to pretend as if you don't know what the girl's talking about. Then you're trying to play off the other girl as if you don't know what's happened. And then when she comes in to question you, you're saying, I love these questions. And then after that, right? Because what I believe he's going to say is, I was trying to get her to say that she likes me because she never really said it. Well, bro, then, but the problem here is that you've already chosen another girl. So what if she confesses it now? What's it going to do? It's only going to put you in a difficult situation, which is what you wanted. Because you got a player vibe. Oh, sorry. It's because you got a player vibe in you. I don't think you've had this kind of power in your hands before. I don't think you had this kind of power before. Right? And I'm just going to say this.
We will not have it. I said we will not have it. Oh.
Okay? And I want to say this as well.
It's pretty difficult to put into words how disgusted I am, how depressed I am.
That's how I feel. So, you know, I'm going to end it there. Okay? All right? I'm going to end it there. Okay? Because I've gone over my time by 15 minutes. Listen, we'll be here tomorrow. I think I'm going to do it about this time again because I've got another live Okay, I don't think I have a live on Wednesday, but I think we'll do it Wednesday. We still do it normal time, but unless maybe I watch the show again, but I'm trying to do it every day. I want you guys to have some content every single day, but I'm a little bit annoyed. Oh, question. I'm thinking, maybe there's another way, because I know we talk about the shows a lot, and what I realized is, there's a lot of you guys, we talk on these lives, and we get to have conversation in the chat. If anyone knows a way that maybe we can get like you guys into a group, like a Discord or something like that, if you guys want to be part of that, because maybe that will be helpful, like discussing the show. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, if I put on a Discord, I won't be talking much in there, okay? But it just means that you guys can talk about certain shows, have other people that are in those groups. Maybe we can make separate Discords for different shows or whatever, so that there's another place for you guys to discuss these things with like-minded people, because it's nice having it here, but I know like sometimes when you want to have those conversations with other people, you need someone else in the room with you. Do you know what I mean? When you're watching something. So I'm going to try and figure it out. If you've got any ideas, email me in terms of how maybe we can get like you guys talking outside of just this live. Maybe we can, maybe we can get some kind of thing. I don't know if it's Discord or a group me. I got a group me as well. We can do that as well, maybe. But just like show your ideas to me. Because that would then help. Then you guys can have a place to discuss. Do you know what I'm saying? And we can build a community up properly. You know what I'm saying? Because it's nice having it here, but I know you guys got a lot of thoughts and ideas. So let's maybe try and build that as well, and that will make it lively as well. You can also do voice sessions in Discord that are live. Okay, cool. I didn't know about that. I'm gonna look into that then. But please send your ideas. If anyone's got an idea, anybody want to be a leader for a group like that, email me. We'd love to put you in favor. Please, I'm not paying anybody. Please don't come and ask me for money. I don't have money for you. I'm asking if you'd want to lead it because it's something that will interest you. I would be happy to back it, and be able to promote it so that we can get more people into that, so you can have more conversations and you can develop more network, more friends, and we can start linking things together. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you've got any ideas, hit me up on my email there on the screen, and then we can start sitting down together and let's start as well trying to build up that community so other people can also enjoy what you're enjoying. Do you know what I'm saying? Please don't ask me for money. I don't have your money for you. Okay. All right. I don't have your money for you, but maybe we can do a trade. Maybe the person who decides to take it on, I coach, so maybe I can give you some free coaching lessons. It's all about trade here, isn't it? You hear me? But listen, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. We will see you again tomorrow. Actually, no, I'm here tonight. I'll lie. I believe I have a live with Winter. We're gonna have a Valentine's special. Kweku, not that, bro. Not that, bro. Hey, we need to do a Tinder swindler as well. I need to do that. I need to do one. I've watched it as well, so maybe we can do a discussion on that as well. Yeah, we can do a discussion on that. Maybe tomorrow night we can do a discussion on that. And I'll do the live for Lovers Blind earlier, and then we'll do the Twinder. I keep saying Twitter. The Tinder swindler. So that we can all come together and have that discussion. Get me? I'll get you guys' thoughts on that. Yeah, I think we'll do it tomorrow night. Let's do it tomorrow night. If you're up at that time, guys, get me? I'll put the post on the community page. Anyway, like it, share, subscribe, guys. Click on the bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. We'll see you again very, very soon. Don't let your enemies get you all.